Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak and Robert Paris, our intern Ryan Brown, and BNEWS volunteer Leah Menkello, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Juliana McGrane with sports. Thank you for joining us. Town meeting concluded earlier this week after passing the remaining 4 articles, all relating to general bylaws. Article 32 took up the bulk of the evening. The article would see a home rule petition sent to the state allowing remote access to town meeting. The town allows remote access, but the state does not. Multiple amendments were put forward to the body to clean up the language of the article in an attempt to prevent the need for sending future home rule petitions to the state. For further details on the article, visit our website at bcattv.org. Article 35, which would see the removal of the retail industrial zoning district from the mixed-use innovation mix, was withdrawn. The article was originally requested by the planning board. However, it raised concerns with the select board as the mixed district was just approved in January by town meeting. Both boards held a joint public meeting and a compromise to amend the article was made. However, at the planning board's meeting a few days later, a motion to withdraw was made after the chair, Brenda Rappaport, read a statement.
Since the mixed district has been in effect, applicants have raised concerns to planning staff, bless you, regarding bylaw and permitting requirements within the district. The planning board and department staff wants to ensure that the mixed district bylaw provides clarity and protections needed to attract business and provide a clear and predictable permitting process. We intend to work over the summer to review the mixed district bylaw, administrative processes, as well as adjust the rules and regulations. With these goals in mind, may I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw Article 35, Use Table Optimization from the May 2025 Town Meeting warrant.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0.
The Select Board appointed 9 core members and 2 alternates to the Government Review Committee at their most recent meeting. The board received 14 applicants and strived for a balance of demographics in terms of gender, age, and involvement in town. The Collins Center will be engaged in the process and help guide the committee through the process. The committee will meet twice a month for a period of 12 to 18 months or until a mission of the committee is complete. Progress was made on the new police station this past week. The building committee was before the planning board for a preliminary design review. They received feedback on what the board thought the building design should look like and initial feelings about the site, including concerns about preserving the historical colonial aesthetic of the town center.
This was my concern from day one, is that we're not going to be sensitive to the fact that this is our historic center of town. Basically, we're dealing with historic buildings. We're taking one down. We're putting this up next to another one. It's right now considered one of the most beautiful town commons and centers of town in the state of Massachusetts. And I hate to hear things like, well, we don't really have the money to put the right materials in and these things. And this is what my concern was going to be from day one.
Town Administrator Denizio presented the feedback to the Select Board at their most recent meeting, and of the 4 different designs presented, the consensus was brick option 2, with concerns including design details on fencing, roof lines, and the outbuilding. The Select Board unanimously approved brick option 2 as the baseline model, recognizing design will still need to be refined.
I support brick option 2. I feel like there's been many iterations to get to this point, and it's a good transition building, bringing in all the characteristics of the other buildings around it and meeting the design parameters of the overlay as well. So the overlay was put in place because this is an area of town that is important to people, and the way buildings look matters to people, and people have very strong opinions. So they were, the overlay design parameters were put in place so that we could have sort of this campus feel so that all the buildings fit together. And I think this works. I do want it to be sort of a partnership with planning board and get feedback on it. But I think, we've gotten a lot of feedback from the community leading up to this through the building committee. And now we've come up with this option, which I think is good, a good place to be right now. And hopefully with a few tweaks, it will go through planning board and we can get started.
the Planning Board on June 5th to begin the official public hearing on the site plan review. Planning Board needs to approve the final design and ensure it meets the requirements of the Town Center Overlay District. As Memorial Day is approaching, volunteers braved the weather to take part in Veterans Services annual flag placement. Have we had any decent weather? Our intern Ryan Brown was there.
Hi, I'm Ryan Brown, here at the Chestnut Hill Cemetery, where volunteers are preparing for the Veterans Day ceremony on May 26th. In the quiet and peaceful Veterans section at Chestnut Hill, people from all over Burlington are preparing to carry out an annual tradition meant to honor those who have served.
First year we did this, it was a bunch of older veterans, and it was a mostly veterans type of event. Those veterans started to get older. It's harder to walk through the cemetery. Plus, it was taking us 2 to 3 hours to do 2,300 flags. So we opened it up to the community probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and the 2 or 3 hours dwindled down to maybe 45 minutes. To see the community come out every year, and each year the amount of people that come grows probably tenfold. We had girls and Boy Scouts coming out. We had parents with young children coming out. We had firefighters, police officers, basically everybody that makes up the community. And it's become more of a community event than it is just a veterans event.
Chris Hannafin has been helping out at the flag planting for 9 years. And in that time, the event has grown into a community gathering, leaving a positive impact on all who attend.
But it's also a sense that veterans can look to the past and they can continue to serve their community like they did while they were in uniform. And I think that it's also offers us the ability to look to the future. Seeing young kids do this, seeing that patriotism is still a principle of this country.
But the heart of the event has always been to pay respect to the many brave veterans who risked it all to protect our homeland.
Without veterans, and more importantly, without individuals that stand up and say they will serve our country to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I don't think that we would be standing here having this conversation.
With such a high drought of volunteers, it just goes to show how important it is that we remember and honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. I'm Ryan Brown, here with BNEWS.
Burlington's Memorial Day ceremony will be held at 10 a.m. on Monday at the Chestnut Hill Cemetery. Memorial Day is always a sign that summer is around the corner, even if this weather isn't. Robert Parris caught up with Parks and Rec Director Brendan Egan for a summer review.
We are already heading towards summer. Can you believe it? Get ready, because you won't be bored with all the variety of activities put on by the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department.
Summer is loaded with a bunch of special events. We have weekly concerts, family concerts on Tuesday nights, children's shows on Wednesday nights, and then more children's shows in the afternoon up at Simons Park on Thursdays. We have our annual tennis tournament, the Rahanas Park Open, on Saturday, July the 12th, which is a great event that people look forward to every year. And then, of course, the big special event in the summer, Celebrate Burlington, on Saturday, August 2nd.
There will be some surprises, but Director Brendan Egan didn't want to let anything out of the bag just yet.
We're working on a few things, and our Assistant Director, Kelly Lehman, has been working on Celebrate Burlington last year. Always looking to add new things, and the feedback we get from the residents and the program team, they'd like to see, and what works best is always taken into consideration. That's where those ideas come from. So there's some new stuff out there as we get into the summer a little bit more.
It is another busy time of year for the maintenance crew, who prepares the parks and fields day in and day out with a few projects that are in the works.
We have our disc golf course that they'll be working on and finishing up the new tee pads and baskets there. Like I said, benches to go in. We had a new playground installed down at Wildmere, and then we have our poured-in-place surface still has to go in. The contractor installed the playground, and now they'll come and do the poured-in-place rubber surface.
With residents enjoying the warm weather before it's gone, the Parks and Recreation wants everyone to have a safe and happy summer.
It seems like a more, it's more vibrant in the summer with people outdoors, outdoor eating, going to, summer concerts and community events. New England in the summer is just a great time to get together, families and friends, and enjoying the weather and each other.
I'm Robert Paris for BNews Week.
Burlington held its first kindness celebration on the town common. BNews volunteer Lena Minkello is there.
Hey everybody, I'm Lena Minkello and I'm here today at the Burlington Town Common Kindness event.
We spoke with some volunteers and participants.
Well, check behind me. If it wasn't for all the people, this wouldn't be happening. So we'll connect together with the schools. We've been working now for a whole year to accomplish this.
All of this could not have happened without all these wonderful women who are standing behind me. This is definitely something between the community and also the schools.
So this is a collaboration between helpers and nonprofits throughout the community, as well as the Burlington Public Schools, to celebrate acts of kindness throughout the community.
I think it's fun because everything's ladybug themed. Huge, there are all ladybugs everywhere. I also like there's all sorts of crafts and sand art. Yeah, I love it.
So I'm one of the people who designed the shirts. I'm glad so much of the turnout is kids because we really need to spread the kindness to younger audiences so that when they grow up they can spread the kindness, and I feel like we should have more turnout. So I'm hoping this event happens next year as well.
I think this is a really fun event for Francis Wyman and I love it. They should do it every year.
This is the only thing, kindness, and what happened today, that it connects the teachers, the students, the parents, and the community. And this is exactly what happened today here. I'm hoping that, and I believe that every time now people will see a ladybug, they're going to think of an act of kindness.
Seems like today went extremely well. I'm Lena Minkello, and this was the Burlington Town Common Kindness event.
BCAT volunteer Lillian Akitwe joined BNews reporter Tad Stefanak at Mary Cummings Park for our latest Eye on Nature.
Former Burlington Conservation Administrator John Keeley and Suzanne Sullivan of the Ipswich River Headwaters Stream Team recently guided a bird walk.
Sparrows, getting territorial.
At Mary Cummings Park.
So these are tree swallows flying around the birdhouses. There's bird boxes up, and the tree swallows are sort of squabbling over who's going to get which bird box. On things like bird boxes, it's like intra-species competition too, because there's like house sparrows and tree swallows and house wrens will all fight over a bird box. So I hear a red-bellied woodpecker in here. So red-bellied woodpeckers are a species that was pretty much unheard of in Massachusetts a few decades ago. Been moving northward range movement. There goes a great blue heron flying, just went behind the water tank, going left. So what they were trying to do is create grassland habitat for grassland species. So there's species that specialize in large grassed areas like savanna sparrows and bobolinks. There's also some sparrows in here. They're probably savanna. There's a singing song sparrow right up here on the top of the bush here. So the red-winged blackbird's visible now just behind the pipeline post, about 30 feet straight ahead. Great blue herons nest in colonies. They prefer to nest in dead trees, so they really like beaver swamp or flooded areas that used to have trees and the trees are all dead. So there's another type of sparrow called the swamp sparrow, which is singing, but we're still sort of early in migration, despite the fact that some birds have been back since February. The peak of migration, bird migration in Massachusetts is like mid-May. That's when the biggest numbers of songbirds are coming through. But bird populations are decreasing pretty rapidly, and a lot of it loss of habitat. Not just our habitat here, but like they spend a lot of their time in the rainforests.
A bird walk is good exercise, an excellent stress reliever, and a great way to keep an eye on nature. And special thanks to our volunteer camera person, Lillian Akitwe, for her great work.
Up next is sports with Juliana McGrain after your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen. Carrie, and this is your community calendar. On May 31st, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having goat yoga at Regan Park. 2 sessions will be available from 10 to 11 a.m. and 11 a.m. to noon. For more information and to register, go to the Recreation website. On June 1st, from 4 to 6 p.m., the Einstein Workshop will be having a summer camp open house. Come and learn about Einstein's Workshop, fun and engaging STEAM summer camps for kids entering kindergarten through 9th grade. For more information, go to the following website. On June 2nd, from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Red Devil Football and Junior Devils Football will be having a golf fundraiser featuring raffles, silent auction, mulligans, and of course, golfing. For more information and to register, go to our website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Hey everyone, I'm Julianne McGrain, and this is your weekly sports report. After a 10-12 loss on the road in Ipswich on the 17th, the girls lacrosse team bounced back with a huge 17-8 win in Wilmington on the 19th. They dominated at home against Stoneham, winning 21-6 on the 21st. Wow! They will conclude the regular season on Friday evening against Medfield Senior High at home. Boys lacrosse had back-to-back 16-5 victories at home against Stoneham last Friday and Wilmington this past Monday. The team secured the Freedom Division after a win. The boys baseball team played 3 games this week, a close 5-4 win at home against Wilmington on the 15th, a close 4-6 loss to Stoneham, a 4-6 home, and a nice 3-8 home win against Watertown. That victory secured them a spot in the postseason tournament in the Middlesex League. The team is 3rd with Melrose at the top and Wakefield in 2nd. Girls softball got back in the win column after a 7-2 win against Wilmington on the 18th. They defeated Watertown at home with a huge 22-3 victory on the 19th and a 10-12 loss at home against Haverhill on the 21st. They will be playing in the postseason with first-year coach Kelly Petozzi in the Middlesex League standings. The team finished in 3rd place with Wakefield at the top and Wilmington in 2nd. Boys volleyball are 2-17 after 3 losses against Lexington at home on the 15th, at Woburn on the 19th, and at Lynn Classical on the 21st. Girls and boys track competed in the state relays on May 17th. The girls placed 4th out of 21 teams, while the boys placed 2nd out of 22 teams. Here were a couple of the results from both teams. For the full results from this meet, go to bcattv.org/sports. The Middlesex League meet was underway at the high school on May 21st. BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris has more.
It was the biggest track meet of the season, as the 12 Middlesex League schools came together as one for the championship. Alongside Burlington, they welcomed Lexington, Winchester, Melrose, Arlington, Wakefield, Reading, Woburn, Stoneham, Belmont, Wilmington, and Watertown to varsity field. Despite the wet and rainy conditions, athletes from both of the Red Devil teams excelled in their events. Grace Conti finished in 19th place with a time of 1 minute and 18 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles.
I definitely had to focus on my eating and getting enough energy. And yesterday for pre-meet, I definitely focused on going, just like sprinting into those hurdles and making sure my steps are right.
Ava Eldridge came in 13th place in the mile with a time of 5 minutes and 37 seconds.
It feels so good. It feels amazing. I've worked so hard this whole season, and I'm just so grateful to be here. This is insane. My coach was so excited for me. My teammates were cheering for me the whole time. I could hear them. It was just the best moment ever.
Girls coach Danielle Cavino said in a quote, "Laya Kuhn has stepped up in high jump this season, jumping 5 feet and came in 2nd overall. We had 2 girls place in multiple events, including the shot put, javelin, triple jump, in the 400 meters. These girls really contributed to our success this season." The girls finished in 6th place, with Lexington taking 1st place as the champs. In the boys' events, Ryan Latchford came in 16th place in the 400-meter hurdles with a time of 1 minute and 2 seconds. He also made a new personal record.
You know, I'm very
driven kind of guy, so I've just been working really hard at the off season, going into this season, PR'd by 8 seconds my first meet, so all the hard work pays off. It's one of those events where form isn't much of a factor as your mental capabilities. It's all just about pushing past when you think it, when your brain's telling you you're done, just going past that limit, fighting against that lactic, so yeah.
Justin Gray came in 5th place with a time of 15.80 seconds and also made a new personal record in the 110-meter hurdles.
I felt good, felt fast. I was coming from long jump, so I was already warmed up and just ran hard. I just like how competitive it is. I just like I had to run faster just based off the people in my heat. So it just made me run faster.
Other top finishers for the boys were Ethan Tedesco, coming in 1st place in the discus at 140 feet and 8 inches. A new personal record for him and was the champion in this event. Ryan Brooks came in 2nd place in the long jump at 21 feet and 11 inches. The boys finished the day in 6th place overall, with Lexington winning the championship for the 2nd year in a row. From Varsity Field, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
Girls tennis finished the regular season with a 2-3 loss at home against Wilmington on May 15th. Winners in the match were Sonali Patel, Phoenix Mahoney, and Isha Soni. We have the highlights against Stoneham.
Girls tennis finished the regular season with a bang after a 5-0 win against the Stoneham Spartans. It was also senior day for 12 athletes: Mason Alonji, Maya Barkley, Janice Choi, Phoenix Mahoney, Dev Malo, Pallavi Nair, Joanne Zakoba, Anjali Patel, Sonali Patel, Nishta Prajapati, and Isha Soni. Mason Alonji, Sonali Patel, and Shriya Patel won in their singles matches. Alessia Perduzzi, Therese Kaczynski, and Phoenix Mahoney and Anjali Patel won in their doubles matches.
Burlington is postseason bound with an 8-9 record and a place 3rd in the Freedom Division. Wilmington is at the top and Watertown is in 2nd. Boys tennis have already cinched the division title last week and finished the regular season at 13-5. They defeated Wilmington on the road 5-0 and Central Catholic 4-1 at home. We were there for the final match against Stoneham.
Boys tennis also had their senior night. The team celebrated Abhay Jumat, Ishan Kasangra, Sanjeev Krishnan, Rohan Parikh, Vivek Patel, Adi Prajapari, Soham Shah, Lukman Sahik, and Krish Soni. Shah won both of his matches 6-2. Parikh won both matches 6-0. Soni won 6-0 in the first match and 6-1 in the second match. As for the doubles team, Jumat and Patel won 6-1 in the first match and 6-0 in the second. Krishnan and Kansangra won in the first match 6-0 and 6-1 in the second match.
Stay tuned for the updates on the postseason tournaments, and to keep up to date with all the Red Devil action, check out our sports section at bcatev.org/sports and follow us on X at BNewsSports. That's all for this week. I am Julianne McGrain, and back to you guys in the studio.
5th grade students from all of Burlington's elementary schools gathered at the BHS track for a day of fun and competition. Our intern, Ryan Brown, has more.
On Friday, May 16th, the elementary schools of Burlington came together for the 2nd annual 5th grade track meet.
So we have 2 sprints. We have a 55 and 100 meter. Then we have the long jump, shot put. We'll have some relays, and then we'll have a mile at the end.
With all 4 schools in one place, lots of cooperation was required to get the event off of the ground.
We spent a couple weeks gathering, a lot of support from like the teachers and the gym teachers at all the elementary schools. And so me and Will, and Miss Dowdy, we spent a lot of time just kind of figuring out all the moving pieces. And so it's pretty cool to see all come together today.
Keeping the event organized and efficient was key to its success, as there were large amounts of eager children from across the school district there that day who were ready to race.
So we try to make the day as efficient as possible, split the kids up into groups with, they're all within their homeroom that they have at school or with a teacher, but then the different groups have different schools with, between them, so that there could be a group with like Fox Hill, Francis Wyman Memorial, so trying to integrate the kids, get them to get along with each other, and then we basically just tiered the kids' preferences of like where they're going, and then they stick with the group throughout the day and just walk around to the different events and compete.
For Will Preston and Will Morrison, all of the hard work was worth it to see the joy and happiness on the faces of the participants.
I honestly, the thing I like most is just seeing the kids having fun. I think it makes the work that we put into it worth it. I mean, I love to see smiles on the kids' faces when they're doing what they love.
I'm excited. I hope everyone just has a good time. I hope everything I did, translates and everyone has a good time.
With the second successful year of this event, the children of Burlington may have a new annual tradition on their hands. I'm Ryan Brown for BNEWS Sports.
Thank you for that report, Ryan. Today marks Ryan's last day with us. We turned the cameras on Ryan as he reflected on his internship experience with BCAT.
Burlington High School senior Ryan Brown has been a standout intern at BCAT this semester. We talked with Ryan about his experience and what he's learned.
I decided to intern at BCAT because I was looking at the options, and I remember in the past I had done I think it was the Devil's Sunrise program at least a few years ago.
Good morning, BHS.
And I was like, it'd be interesting to come back here and do it again. So that's what sort of made me decide to do BCAT. So what I've been doing since I've been here, the majority is I've been creating, writing, doing the voiceover work, doing the filming and interviews for multiple different news stories of my own that have been posted on the BCAT website and YouTube channel. I mean, my favorite part has been basically just doing everything, like the news stories, learning how to edit and film and all those things has been very fun, and I didn't know how easy it'd come to me like that.
Whenever you're ready.
It really is a great experience. So, all the staff are friendly. It's a welcoming environment, and everybody is always there to help you out if you need it, and they really give you the tools to help you grow and sort of help you learn. And you may come in here at first not thinking you'll know much, and it seems hard, but once you learn, it'll become easier and easier to do it. If anybody wants to come volunteer at BCAT, I sincerely recommend it.
All of us here at BCAT wish Ryan the best in his collegiate and future endeavors. And you'll always have a place here at BCAT.
I'm Ryan Brown for BNEWS Sports.
Thank you, Ryan, and good luck in your future. Our photo of the week was sent in by Mary Leach. It features a beautiful picture of a lovely lady slipper taken at the Lime Quarry in Chelmsford. Thank you for the photo, Mary. We'd like to see your photos. The photos could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or photos of your family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, send them to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. On deck for next week, we'll have Memorial Day highlights, a report on the athletic awards, an update on Overlook Park, a preview of the middle school musical, and more. That's it from the news desk here at BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher. Thank you for joining us.